Aloha, this is Rachel and I'm back in the kitchen today. It's lunchtime around here and we have decided to make some cabbage wraps and some kale salad. And I'm actually starting with the kale salad because it's going to need to marinate while I make the wraps. And so I thought I'd share the recipes with you here today. They're pretty quick and easy. We're not using any oils. Everything is going to be all natural ingredients, real simple, and a lot of fun. What we've got here to start with is I'm using two different kinds of kale. We've got some local organic dinosaur kale. These are really little leaves, but they work well. And then some red leaf kale that I found at the market. So you can use whatever kind of kale you have. For the red leaf, obviously it's more leafy than this flat leaf kind. And I just kind of pull it right off the stem here. We keep the stems for juicing. So I just put them right over there. Sometimes we feed them to the pets. Kind of roll it up and then just cut it into small pieces. Kale is tougher the greens out there, and a lot of people like to marinate them or cook them because of that. So marinating kale in salad and stuff is a great way to eat it if you can't handle it raw most of the time. They are a powerhouse of nutrition. They're a great source of calcium and iron, and actually about each cup of shredded kale gives you about 2 grams of protein. So eat a big bowl of this and you're set with your calcium, protein, fiber, the whole 9 yards, let alone antioxidants and all the good vitamins and minerals. So usually with this dinosaur kale, you have much bigger leaves, broader leaves, and then when you pull it off of the stem, you get a big base to work with so that you can chiffonade them, or chiffonade, however you say it. Potato, right? Anyway, I can't do that with this. They're just too small, so I'm just kind of rolling them up and going right along here. Good thing I did most of them beforehand, so I don't bore you. And what else have we got here? We've also got some carrots. You can shred your carrots by hand or in the food processor. I used a nifty spiralizer, and I just did 1 carrot. Don't need too many, but you can do as many as you like. Get some in there for color. We've also got some radicchio that I had left over, and I'm just going to use the whole head here. If you don't have any of this or can't find it, use some red leaf lettuce or, something that you love. Add a little bit of extra different texture to the kale there. I like to use the whole white. It's kind of like celery texture at the bottom there. And it's really beautiful. I love it. Just use the whole thing here and toss it right in. So the other thing I have are some currants, and you can use raisins or whatever the case is. I'm putting them in there just for some added sweetness because the dressing we're going to make to marinate it is going to be pretty tart because the base is going to be just simply lemon. And we're going to add quite a bit of garlic, 4 cloves of garlic, and we're going to spice it up. I was going to use red pepper flakes today, but when my husband went out to get me fresh herbs, right here, some beautiful oregano and thyme, he found a couple little Hawaiian peppers ready to be picked. So I'm going to start off with 1 and maybe 2. Use the blender, food processor, whatever the case is. My food processor is kind of big for such a small amount of liquid, so I'm going with the blender here. Anyway, I don't really do measurements too much. As much garlic as you like, as much lemon as you like. I'm going to start with 1 pepper like I mentioned, and these huge leaves of oregano. I'm just going to tear them up. Try to throw some thyme in there. If you don't have fresh herbs, use a dried kind. It's better than none. That's what I say. I always keep dried just in case, because when you're creating foods without oils and salts and all the indulgent stuff that people like a lot, and you're feeding it to them, you want to make sure that you have something else to make up for that, and that's usually some type of flavor. So I'm totally into the herbs and stuff. And then just blend it for a minute. Okay guys, hold on, I need some water. Just a little bit, because you don't want to dilute it too much, but obviously it needs a little bit more to work with here. Grab a spoon and scrape down the sides. Yep, I think one little pepper is all we're going to need. There we go. Let's try it. Oh my goodness. If that does not have some pops of flavor, I don't know what does. Again, that's lemon, some garlic, some fresh herbs, a little pepper, whether it's fresh or red pepper flakes, and maybe a little bit of water. And then just put it in there. So make sure your hands are clean and get in there. You want to get this kale to really soften up. It's going to be almost like it's cooked by the time you're done. It smells really good and fresh. See how beautiful the colors are? I'm probably going to let this marinade, I'd say for about an hour. In about a half an hour I'll start the wraps and I'll pull you in on those too. What's in those and everything like that. And in about an hour or so this will be ready to dig into. The longer you marinate it, of course, the more it's going to wilt and infuse and all that. But I'd say about an hour and you're looking golden. So I will be back soon, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back and I've got my kale salad plated right here. As you can see, it's beautiful. Can't wait to have some of that. And I'm doing some cabbage wraps. And I'm using cabbage because we found this really monstrous head of cabbage. And we pulled them apart and got some really good leaves off of it. But you can use collards or whatever the case is. That's usually what I use. Anyway, to make these wraps, I'm going to make it really simple here. We've got some avocado, putting in some celery for crunch, quite a few daikon sprouts here to help make it really big and meaty. And then I whipped together a really quick sauce. This is equal parts tomato and sweet pepper. I used a yellow one, which is why it came out this color, but if you use a red one, it'll be really bright and vibrant. And then a little tiny bit of garlic. No water, no nothing. That is it. It's really simple, but really delicious. Sprinkle some of your sauce on there. Really get in there. Roll your wrap. Throw it on top. And we're going to do 2 for this meal. Some more avocado. More celery. Sprouts, sauce, wrap and roll. There you have it. Delicious meal I'm going to try right now. Start with some of that kale salad over here. Let me move this knife out of the way. I think it's been marinating probably about an hour now. Yes, you can taste it all. Every part of it is really good. I even got a currant in that particular bite. Just what I was looking for. Excuse me. Let me try some of this for you too. Well, actually for me. Excuse me, it's creamy. It's messy. You guys, this is really, really good. Thanks for sharing lunch with me again. Aloha.